So I got back from my citizen journal thing in Texas, and like my medical issues were very isolating, except my dad always got it. That was why I liked You Know Who so much, because my dad was always so good with, like, he was just subtle. Like, I remember my big sister, it was my mom, my little sister lived down the hill at the time. My mom, my dad, and my big sister, we were walking. It was hot out, and they knew why I was home, and it was medically relevant. And it's like altitude, okay, positional, postural, it makes your heart rate spike. It's an autonomic condition. Google a little. Why didn't I just say I had diabetes? What other medical condition am I gonna, like, what the fuck? Yikes. Okay, anyways, that's a weird condition to just make up. Weird. Really weird. Also really sad that you guys want to pretend that something valid doesn't exist, while something that's hurtful to other people who have it, like Marfans and BPD. Look, fuck off. Dex has BPD, and I have a lot of empathy for her for that. I know people with BPD. I was proven to not have it. Don't run your mouth and dismiss what I really have because you want to pretend that I'm something I'm not. Okay? Yikes. So, anywho. At the time, I was trying to find work that I felt like I was respected in without it being my body, or... Let's see, what was I doing? It was 2019, right? What had I done? Okay, so I'd started working at some companies, and I wanted to get some businesses together, but my family wasn't interested in that. They didn't understand it, and I just needed a little bit of help with overhead. My car was the last thing I got before I had to lose all the things I was trying to have, like, control of. My car was the only thing I got myself. And what my company did, the one company did, Arizona's Right to Work, and it wasn't the best job ever. I was just doing what I could that made sense while I was trying to figure something else out. And they knew I had my medical issues and what triggered them, and then, like, I think they just, like, didn't give a fuck anymore. It wasn't a high-paying job. It would have been better if I had just built my client base anyways, but nobody would give me the ability to stop working to build one. I mean, it was like, literally, there's a little bit of, like, you need a little bit of space to create a business. A little. You need overhead. You need business strategy, and you need fucking market research, and all of that takes sitting around and doing things, which, like now, instead of working, I've been playing lawyer, and I don't really even get all of the money for work. I have to split it with someone who has a roof over their head and could have gotten a job too, and I'm not bashing him for that. I'm just saying, like, stop talking like I'm leeching. I'm doing everything that I can with the power I don't have at all. And the people telling me they could help could put a little bit more effort in on their part, so I'm not dragging all the weight and then punished for not being able to be perfect because I don't have resources everyone else has. Yeah. And the scooter is great, but I can't leave Abby by herself. She will have a heart attack. That's why I had Daisy. That was my baby girl too, though. Fuck you guys for taking her from me for that. And my mama's catching charges if she does. Look, I have DV power. Everything anyone wants to do to take from me what I loved at any further point right now, I am actively safe from that. Anyone contributing to coercive control tactics, including taking my pets and not giving them back to me when I'm ready for them. Because Abby has had all the time in the world for my mom to give a fuck. You know what? Also, let's talk about all the things I didn't pay for so-and-so. We're not going to say names, but this person tried to make it seem like my mom didn't send them money for a vet bill, which she had. And my mama didn't want her to know. Or me to know. That's what I was told by this person. Who knows at this point? But my mama told me that she did indeed pay this person for a vet bill. And I know she made a big fucking campaign about how I didn't pay for a vet bill for her. What is it? Is it that I'm shit, or people are full of shit? And they're using me as a tool when I'm disadvantaged to make themselves better off. Yikes. Fuck all of you for that. You're disgusting people, all of you. Anywho. Don't fake pretending giving a fuck about me if you're going to hurt me more. I'm just going to disappear if that's the case. And I'm not going to just go over to anyone's home, that, especially a dude that wants to fucking fuck me. I don't have energy right now. I had energy when I got back from Ohio to Arizona. Even though it was traumatizing, I also was very much liked initially in the internet community scene. And I also didn't get too heavily involved in things I didn't want to. I had my regular life too. And then Chicken also protected my public image, which never led to what this has led to, which is just everyone looking at someone who got away with it, and then they took part of it when they thought it was opportune. That's disgusting, by the way. And I won't stick around to watch other people go through what I went through, whether or not I'm safe or not. I'm really not safe offline, period, though, at all. I don't have stability. I don't have access to resources I should have had. And I will eventually, but honestly, I don't know, man. I might just go disappear for a minute somewhere that I do feel safe. And I still don't have my baby taken from me. Because that is the final blow to someone who's been abused with domestic violence, is that everything they love is gone. Why would you think I'd want to live with my little baby girl? The one thing I got left is gone. And I spent so much money on her when you guys fucked with my jobs. I've done things none of you could have done with all the shit that's been on my shoulders. And I'm out of gas because I had to literally play lawyer for 3 seasons. And I didn't fall apart. And when I do damn try to check myself in, I'm told I'm not crazy enough. Or I spend hours in entities that don't do their jobs. Or I have to fucking go into corrupt entities that, again, not everybody is, but some are. And I just have to remind them of codes that they're supposed to honor because they pretend that they don't have the education I had to research and I don't get paid to fucking have education on. I have to be smarter than the people that don't want to do their shit. Not because I'm smart, because I don't want to die. And it's in their hands and nobody cares. So I was going down the hill to my little sister's house from, my mom and dad were at my grandma's at that time. My big sister was there and I started getting dizzy. And it was totally pots. It had nothing to do with anything drug related at all. Like, it was just barely in the morning. And I was starting to stumble. And it was my little sister and my big sister. Oh, we had come back from their house down to my little sister's house. Okay, anyways. My big sister and my little sister were giggling that I was stoned. I hadn't touched it that day. And I don't just like randomly start falling from weed either. Like, my dad was like, guys, it's her pots. I didn't want to talk to my little sister for a while after that. My big sister I'm not as close with, like, constantly. I love my big sister, actually, but all of my siblings have had some part of my life where I fought because I thought they really were, like, very big influences to me. And when we were kids, they would always yell at my bio dad if he would just pop out of nowhere. I was protected, but they didn't understand what I had to really go through, that they weren't off the protected square bubble of normalcy that I was mostly in. My grandparents never looked at me like I wasn't theirs. In fact, my brother and I think were my grandpa, my dad's dad. They never forgot me. I think there was a level of special treatment I would get sometimes, but also, like, my brother and I weren't the ones that fucked around with boys or girls in relationships, and we just worked and we tried to move out early and, like, be independent. And my grandpa, I think he just really, like, the grandpas were more business oriented. They liked, my mom's dad that died, he wasn't my brother's grandpa, but our grandpa, my brother and my grandpa, my dad's dad. He loves all of us, trust that. But, like, there was something I felt like as a child that my dad's parents really, like, even during COVID, God, guys, there's a lot, and I'm seeing the signs right now, but everything is all making sense and pattern. Anyways, my mom initially didn't have us with her dad that just died very much as a kid because I think they had emotional issues they had to get over. And then around middle school, we got to start seeing him again, and I guess he had a healthcare scare or something, and he really wanted to get to know me and my little sister. And I've never seen the side of him that she thinks that she saw. I know there was stuff that happened with him and my grandma that wasn't ideal, and I don't care. It's not my fucking business. It wasn't the part of life I knew him in, and he tried to change. And I know he loved me. And I didn't want to see what happened when he lost his mind. It was some kind of rare blood cancer, and I was in the car with a man who told me after all he'd taken, this is how coercive control works. They take everything from you, so they're all you have left. I believed him then because it was what I had left. So yeah, I went back to that. And the most I got to grieve was bawling my eyes out in the car next to a person that didn't give a fuck about what they'd done to make me, so I couldn't even go home to see my grandpa. Much less why did I want to at that point. I mean, he was the last I saw of him was good. I didn't get to grieve anything. All of you with thumbtacks, that's one thumbtack. All right, what about like 1 million of nails just driving into you all at once? That was me. Don't tell me how you've been through shit and my shit doesn't matter. No, I understand yours matters, but it's not the amount and the concentration mine was. Be human. Stop dismissing it. Yikes. I also was smeared so badly about meth, which I literally hardly fucking used. And if I did, it was because I could have just, if I could have had more Adderall, yeah, I probably would have used that instead. I hate meth. I have a medical condition with a blood pressure, like the Toledo specialist I saw when I went back in 2019, because my mom we were trying to figure out, the reality is it shouldn't have been what is going on with my medical condition, because there's a lot of situations with that. It's what can I work? And that was what my neighbor helped me with, and my mentor and OC helped me with, and Zach helped me with, was figuring out ways to work that were not going to physically exert me to a point of having no quality of life. I had to think, I had to strategize. That's business. As piecework. They got it, but my family didn't. So instead of like figuring out how I could have saved money and put it aside to start a business that I could have done market research on, or I was trying to figure out what worked. So what upset me, and what basically happened is I was trying to do that, and I was really researching my medical issues, and then I realized that there's this MTHF gene, or R gene. We call it in the POTS community a motherfucker gene, but it's not real. It looks like that when you look at it. It's like MTFR? Anyways, it's a gene, and it's linked to the connective tissue I have. It's linked to the mast cell activation syndrome, which is like body and temperature irregularities, where like if I'm episodic, sometimes I'll go from like shivering. You don't always see me, or you just decide it's meth. Everything's meth, right? Or some kind of drug. It just doesn't, it cannot be what it is, no matter how much evidence. Imagine me growing up like that with my medical issues. Ding, 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 that number one. Ding, 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 number two. In a surrounded family of wonderful, beautiful, normal people and normal life, that I had a little bit of a dark edge behind me with. And it wasn't my mental health as much. My mental health has been harmed by things that are not genetically unhinged about me. Which is why when I went to go check myself in both in Ventura and Venice, I was told, oh, you're stable enough, we'll just get you meds. And then the chick next to you gets a bed right away. I was literally told in Ventura, no, that was Venice. No, wait. Which one was the first? Okay, so Ventura. Okay, Ventura was that one. Okay, Ventura, they put me in a fucking crisis unit. And they gave me some meds. And that's the funny thing, is because right before you know who snapped and I left and I went to Arizona, yes, I left. Use it or lose it, I left. But I'm a stalker. Let's just fuck off with that one. All these things that you guys need me to be that I'm not, like, stop it, or like wonder why I don't give a fuck. Just start there. Anywho, where are you guys at? 45%? All right, hold on, baby. Hold the squish on, you little potato. I gotta put this little puppy in because my music is gone now. Not like I was really listening to it anyway. I'm gonna listen to that whole fucking album. That reminds me of like fucking riding horses. I used to listen to the Rise Against, what was it? Fucking Rise Against fucking, yeah, Rise of something of the Refugee. Tears of the Refugee. I don't remember. Let's find my other photo for now. Hi, Mama. Where's my other phone? Did I put that in here? It is in here. This is why I don't put the phones in this fucking pocket. It's hard to find them. Boogie, you are not helping right now. Stop. Please, Mama. Oh, God. You're not helping, Mole. Please. Oh, my God. Where's my phone? My third phone, or my fourth phone. Fuck. Yeah, I can get all the debt that you guys contributed to removing my access to pay bills from removed with DV stuff, because that's part of it, is the isolation financially. Anywho, I know you guys think you done goofed, and you did. You fucked me up emotionally for a long time, and you ruined things with people that shouldn't have had to. Anyways, fuck you for that. But I can get a lot of the things back that you didn't have a right to take. So there's that. Like, you didn't really win, but you won a little bit in ways that are really gross. Why would you want to hurt someone's emotional and like respect level? Like, who are you people that wanted this for anyone? It didn't ruin me forever, and I'll do okay if I have to fucking go off on my own and feel like I need to do that. But why would you want that for someone? I seriously have never wanted that for anyone. Ever. Even if I've said it, I don't think I could ever say it and really mean it either. I mean, there were things that I definitely said when I was trying to defend someone about the chicken bullshit, but I realized it's just that nothing I do really matters to people, no matter how much it's well-intended. Oh, fuck yeah. Holy shit. This is a good song. I don't know what playlist this is. This is brand. I didn't even have it on my playlist. Armor for Sleep, dude. Holy fuck. Anyways. Back to junior year. I digress. What happened in 2019 was I was trying to figure out my medical issues and what worked, and so that I didn't ever have to be under control for people to, again, like my mom is willing to pay for 1 month and 1 security deposit without any history that she will not co-sign for. All she's doing is wasting my time, because what's going to happen, as it usually does, is she says she'll help and she doesn't give details, and then she gets really angry that it's not exactly how she wants it in the moment. I tell you, I know what would happen. If she really was serious, she wouldn't be part of the process. She would throw me money thinking it was enough. And then she would get in a huge fight with me if I did spend it on a car. But the reality is a car would put me out of harm's way and it could get me back to the jobs I just worked my ass off to get that. And I know she wouldn't want to co-sign for anything because she could have done that for a car too. Not like I even needed it with the first car. She also wouldn't let me put the money. Okay, first and foremost, when I left my house in Scottsdale, what the fuck would I have thought was all the stuff that happened was going to happen? Yes, I thought that it was okay and I would be okay and I could recoup. I didn't know that my love of my life was going to really continuously with the internet try to kill me so deeply that no matter how hard I fought, it didn't matter, almost, you know? What the fuck? Why would I predict that? Don't pretend you think it didn't happen. You watched it though, so let's not act stupid right now. Okay, so yeah, I didn't want to go home initially. I thought I was going to be okay. I also had a car that looked just fine, mind you, just fine. I know it looked really bad after I was homeless and like working constantly and in the city, but like, it's totally because I'm a bad driver. No. Find a record where I caused a major collision myself. I dare you. You won't. Anyhow. So, the transmission, you don't just look at a car from the outside and know it's going. You either have small signs over time, or like mine, it kind of happened out of nowhere weeks later after I went homeless. I depended on that car for everything at that point, work and shelter. It was all I had left with that big deal. These are things that other people have the luxury of pennies to put next to them and act like they have and not do anything with, and watch me and see how hard I'm flailing. And I don't want to know anyone who watches me flailing this hard with resources I've had fucking robbed. Well, they can help me without acting like I owe them anything for it. Treat me like a person, any of you, or I don't want to know any of you. I've done more, I've given more with way less for people just to get them out of town. Also to like help them too. I lost my life because I loved someone. Let's just start there. Any of you with an extra $1,500 right now, be better than my mother, who would like to see me, who doesn't care if I'm able to literally get back to my life, because all I need is to go to LA where my medical shit has been established, and I spent months there trying to get it done. I got off a wait list for a psychiatrist. I can get my meds. It's better weather. And then I can just work offline and do my thing like I would like to now. In a car where I am safe from people who are going to be stressed by you people and the inconveniences of my existence, and I can just be inconvenienced by my own existence alone in my car. And then with the jobs I work to get back, I will work that. And I don't need to give a fuck about anyone after that, but if anyone wants me to be a smiling, lovely sex toy, I guess that's what everyone on OnlyFans thinks, is that I'm just gonna... I have lines, don't argue. Don't ask me to not pay me then. Pay me now, because I've been ripped off, and what? Treat it like a business, or why? Ew, like, ugh. It's not a dating site, it's a business. Okay. So there's that. Yikes. Insult me more. I don't need the attention. I need to be taken seriously for what I'm trying to build back in my life that makes me feel safe, so that eventually I get to the point where I was like I was with Chicken, which wasn't that I wanted a future, it was just fun. And Chicken was of age, okay? Like, everyone's saying that I groomed him is weird. Like, I didn't want anything to do with him. I have proof of that. I've said that from the beginning. The first day I met him, he tried to fuck me, and it was like he was a child. I don't know. I think he had this weird little, like, crush on an older chick the whole time. But it's weird because, like, before I started hanging out with him, he was like a child, and I wasn't into it. I remember the night after the macing that Bake did, that bar guy, like, Chicken, like, cried. He called me and he was like, Megan, I ruined Bake's life. He's like, will you just come? I literally tucked him in that night. I didn't look at him like that. He was a child to me. And then the year later, he suddenly had this job and, like, I don't know. It was like, I didn't have to really work with him. It was just like he did him and I did me, and he paid for everything and he protected my image publicly. He did shady shit, like let's be real, he did hurt my image in some ways minor with his like kind of like how he gaslights other streamers into doing things he does. That was literally what made me go IRL, was that he was saying I was doing drugs, too many drugs, and I'm pretty sure he does meth with Jacob. I'm sorry, I don't not believe that at this point. Also, like, he'd like stimmies, and there was no element of Adderall at the beginning, just for the record. So I think he really was trying to get in my pants. So all of you that forget the reality and just cherry pick one moment and decide it's the whole situation, you're retarded. Yikes, stop talking. But also, like, no, like, I wasn't even interested in Chicken like that. Even, like, literally, like, I have the screen recordings. You can see how I was totally oblivious. I was trying to help him find a new fucking girlfriend. I thought he liked that black chick. She was texting me. She thought he liked her, too. She was just content. I didn't know that then. I thought he was a person in real life that I could touch, smell, and at least knew Baked, who took care of me. And maybe he would take care of me as a friend too now that Baked was gone, because I'd had stuff happen. I'd had break-ins, I'd had stalkings. But nah, there ain't no fucking pursuit with that one. It did turn into me trusting him as a friend, him being really good in bed, but here's the kicker. I just left Ohio, where I didn't work for 7 months after 3 years of barely keeping it together and having no quality of life and only working. My physical and emotional state were better. Also, 2020 happened, and this is what I wanted to bring up a few more times. Well, I wasn't given the space to, or any type of, like, Patty helped with stuff. Like, we were trying to put money into businesses. She knew I didn't have it. She was the angel investor, but she was also, like, she chose the name of the company, which is fine. But it was, like, my expertise and, like, my experience with the pet industries. And then she understood business. She taught me so much on how to stand on my own 2 feet. Patty's a badass, dude. I wish I could get over her. I'm so sorry. It's Patty, all you did was do the things my mom wanted to do without judgment. And you protected me. And I really hope nobody hurt you for that. If you ever hear this, Patty, I think you're one of my favorite people in the world. And I think it's really funny how we met and we wanted to kill each other. And then my other neighbor, the one that ended up calling because, you know, she thought I was being put in the ceiling dead. She used to laugh because she was black, and she would be like, white girls just do it different. When me and Patty would go at it. So basically how it started was, I used to protect the cats, the feral cats in the neighborhood, because they were always cold in the winter. So I made this really shitty box that got really dirty, and it was an eyesore. And I used to keep it in my backyard, but they started coming out to the front and trying to get food one winter. And I'd been there for like 3 years, and Patty showed up. It was kind of shitty at the beginning, because like I keep trying to get back to this. There's a lot of nuance to all this, and the way that I got into the economy of the housing market back then, and I was grandfathered in for so long before all the real estate increases happened, especially so hardcore in that area. But again, when it was kind of like Arizona and Nevada were stopped, and so like for the 2010s decade, it was basically like, well, that was where Zach came in. He taught me about the real estate stuff, and then my friend in OC too. But I felt like Scottsdale from like 2013 to 15 was just a gold mine. If you just wanted to do like a facelift for older properties that didn't have a lot of infrastructure internally. Like if you go to the east or the south, you're gonna get like bad wiring and pipes that you have to replace. That shit's expensive, okay? That's a lot of an investment with little return back, okay? I would never fucking do a flip in fucking the Northeast or the South or the Midwest, honestly. Anywhere old. But the Southwest, especially Old Town Scottsdale, what you had was leftover boomer 90s and 80s kids, like Gen X and older millennials that just got to live in homes their parents bought. South Scottsdale, stuff that the kids couldn't afford, and it looked like shit. And then the economy got shitty, so like the housing market never went up. Like, but Nevada versus AZ. My aunt, when I went out in 2012, she took me to the fucking Scottsdale Quarter. Now, what I didn't understand was like, is all, again, it's hindsight, my understanding of the real estate market and where I was and what people taught me and all I learned and just putting things together. In my own research, there's a lot of really interesting stuff that happened since I graduated. Or stuff that didn't happen, like established cyber laws that literally, while other things were focused on in law, like the cyber society we all have to live in now is progressively getting more and more dark because nothing's being fixed. And older generations don't know how to handle it. Even judges that know there's digital issues, I don't think I would have half gotten what I got in this city or this state. Sorry. I don't think I would have gotten the protections digitally as easily. And it wasn't easy, by the way. But even the emergency order in LA that was granted off of a digital video, the same video, by the way, I got this one for, this thing. It's really hard, and the DV element is extra helpful for the digital bullshit to be even strengthened by another law that's more established, which is DV, which is animals, your pets, cannot be something someone can fucking threaten or take from you. That's why I hope my mom really understands that I'd really rather her just give me my pets back, because I will pursue it by law if I have to when I figure it out. They're mine. They've spent most of their lives with us. She wouldn't help Abby with the vet unless she was in control of the narrative, and she went and helped a dying white cat that I bless. You don't get to go pretend, though, that the world isn't burning with people you love next to you. And she could have helped Daisy sooner, but as soon as Daisy became her control to have, that's when she took care of Daisy. It's like me telling her Daisy needed help wasn't enough and I was doing my best. Why did I have to lose my good things just so she had control of them? They were mine. My happiness is when I built my life that she never built because she wasn't responsible. And I guess I'm that problem that she fucking had to ruin her life over. Anyways. I have laws to get everything back that is mine that was never meant to be taken criminally. And if I lost it that was valid, it's not going to be involved in now because I have all the proof in the world for all the reasons none of it was. Yeah. I've been going through hell watching this happen with nothing get fixed for so long. Yes, I have evidence left and right. Who do you think you are to think that I'm not doing what I did because I thought it wasn't possible? Although it shouldn't have been that hard. That's disgusting, but I digress. Okay, so let me see where I'm trying to go with this. I got a lot of stuff to talk about, but really I'm trying to get out the reasons why I might just disappear from this place. Anyone that should be giving me $1,500 for a car. Now, if they think I'm worth it and they have it, I don't want it from people that don't have it. And I don't want it from people that think I'm going to owe them shit to be a person again. Okay, none of those things are things I will take. And I even told my little sister I didn't want her money if she wasn't just going to I did so much for that little shit, and she ain't never had a work in life the way I had to barely get what she gets without fucking judgment. Yikes, let's just start there. And I've defended I've protected her my whole life. And I know she went through shit after the baby, and I know that my grandma pushing her out of the house like a fucking callous piece of shit was hard, and my mom won't talk to my grandma now from my understanding. I get it. My grandma, though, she wants to be, living her life. Why did she have to forget her family in the process? Still her choice, though. If I'm that age, fuck, let me do what I want to. I'm not going to judge her for that, but she's kind of out of the picture right now, and she used to be one of the strongest fucking family members in my life, and she did something horrible to my sister with that one. My little sister should have been enjoying her baby instead of struggling to move and being stressed with people doxing everybody, and my little sister deserves better, but she also still has had better in life than I've had when it was hard, and I'm not saying it's perfect either. I'm just saying I've gone through things that nobody in my family has actually had to fight for. To just be treated like everyone else that didn't have to fight for things is hard for. My little sister's never lived by herself, and she stayed with my parents because my mom never treated her like my mom treated me when she felt like it. And if my daddy fucking tried to protect me, it was in various different ways, and it was not always things that pleased my mother. In fact, when we go to therapy, if my grandma or my dad tried to at all half be fair, so she wouldn't talk to them forever, and she let my dad be. My dad was only supposed to be gone for 3 days. She let him back all the time, but she wouldn't let him live with her. He loved her. She doesn't deserve him, but honestly, he loves her, and I think everyone that loves someone, I know she loves him back now. She took him for granted for so long, though, in my opinion. She always talked about her ex-high school sweetheart and how life was better. I think what it is my mom just was never happy with anything. And I think I got in her way of the things she thought she was going to be happy with that didn't work out. And that doesn't mean... Purple actually said this to me the other day. Like, Purple said it. He said I didn't ruin her life because I said that if I was born, she had to go back and she left her goals out here. And I said, well, I ruined her life. And he goes, no, you didn't ruin her life, not really, but you disrupted a plan. See, no matter how bad shit is with Purple, I know he's my friend. And he didn't have to do things to protect me that no one else would. He doesn't know me. Justin didn't know me. Look how they've been fucking burned for it. Look at Patty. Look what happened to her. And all of you that have watched enough to know that it's been going on but don't want to admit that it's been as bad as it's been because you've just walked away because it was too complicated, too hard, or too stressful, go fuck yourself giving me any advice right now. I don't want to talk to you either. I don't hate you. But it shows me how surface level our friendships are. Why don't you go just get this and not that? Has anyone ever tried that gives me that advice? Wow, probably not. Speak less, all of you. Speak fucking less. Just say I'm sorry and I'm proud of you for feeling like you got to a spot. I got out of my mental state of death and emotional just decay to help my little sister feel safe. I didn't like that Controller's chat was doxing my fucking grandma after she called action to it. And yes, you fucking retards. That's the same as calling it. That is literally, oh my god. At worst, I've been like, fuck, I ain't fucking gonna ban that fucking bullshit anymore, but I still left shit. Look, I'm not the monster that y'all are, that you want me to need to be, so you don't get looked at as the monsters you are, okay? And I will get off the fucking internet and be me if that's all I need. Anyways, so there's all sorts of things that we could talk about forever, but I'm trying to piece it together in a sense that's like more linear. I've been through a lot. I always had that crazy bio dad on the side. I don't even think he's crazy. I think he was just abused. And he's not perfect, but and he could have taken accountability, in my opinion, too, like my mother with the mental health stuff, but I don't think he's the devil. I thought he was just more like an older cousin when I did know him, and I didn't have him as a father figure most of my life, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't want bad for him, and I don't need to know him when he's abusive either, though. And he gets a little obsessive, too. That was kind of part of the issue, is that he really, like, he would just, like, interject, like, actually, like, after I hadn't seen him forever. Here's the thing, this is what I'm saying. I'm in the middle of graduating at Kent Stage, which is because my class was one of the bigger ones in Kent at that time. I think we had like a 500 or 600 graduation class. I might be off a little bit, but it was just the age group. Anyways, decent size, small physical city though, so it was the only one, of course, only in high school, but probably roughly the same size as any Phoenix high school, but there were a lot of Phoenix high schools because it's a big city. Anyways, my grandpas were there, my grandmas were there, my mom and my dad, my big sister, my little sister, my brother. And we were literally like, I went down and we were taking a picture, and I think that was besides one of my grandpas and then my brother or sister, my big ones. And my mom and dad, it was like we were in a like kind of like a bubble, and then my bio dad just like literally blatantly, as if he had a right, literally while the picture was being taken. I think we like did that on purpose. Borderline personality is manipulation, and unfortunately, like, it's usually, I think what it is I think manipulation out of like a survival cope type of a mentality. I don't really understand BPD. I just know I've seen it, and I know that there's patterns in how people act, and I'm not sure the depths of the nuances of the psychology of it, so I'm not going to pretend to, but I think what it seems to me like is that people don't know how to trust, and they kind of just do things really like almost impulsively that they feel like they're entitled to without really trying to think it through or thinking why it would hurt them or people respecting them for it later. I don't know. That's just my opinion from what I've seen from Dex, my bio dad, and others that had it. And I think that those people deserve empathy, which is why it's really gross people are trying to shame me by a disease I don't have, by the way. I do have PTSD though. I probably have. Well, my therapist, before my mom cut me off from her, she thought I might have CPTSD, which is a more like recent like decision on like how you decide on I'm not really sure exactly. Like, I just heard people that are, like, I believe it's like micro trauma after micro trauma collectively is those CPTSD diagnoses. Do not quote me on that. We were talking about it, and it was just too new of a concept for her. And we were trying to get down to that, but she thought I needed way more therapy, and she wanted my mom to do fucking some family therapy, and she just wasn't having it, and she cut me off. And then, you know, when my mom just doesn't do enough because she won't fucking get out of her emotional copes, and I'm left to suffer, it's not because she did it and she could have done better, and I've done more than I should have to prove to her that I've been through things that she's never been through, to accomplish things she's been too much of a coward to finish accomplishing, or wasn't responsible. It's still my fault. So anyways, I also had a lot of really, really amazing things growing up, which is why I never realized how different I was. I had no, I don't know, but anyways, we're at graduation, and like he comes down and like he just like slips me in front of my mother a phone number, and I didn't touch it forever. And I started with my relationship post high school, and then I started kicking it with a lot of my friends because this is, like I said earlier, I didn't finish this, but my mom always used to tell me if I was doing things, and I wouldn't be doing them. I would be doing simple things like getting away from her being controlling and abusive. I'm sorry, it's what it was a lot of times. And then just being very gaslighty, and like literally like my little sister and I would have normal things and fights, and she would just turn me into a monster over everything, and it made it way worse. Nothing I ever did was right with her either. My grandma used to tell me to like, because my grandma was a counselor, she would tell me to just like be like silent and just walk away, and then my mom would like literally just follow me into my room and not let me shut my door or take the door down. I've tried a very large amount of healthy ways, and I've been through a lot of their. But I'm irresponsible and I do nothing and I'm a liar. Yes, if that gets you all through for what you've done to pretend you didn't do the things you've done to make me this way, like please go suck a dick. This is why I don't want to be here. So anyways, like long story short, I didn't really like hit him up at first, and but it was like it's the fact where he just felt like he just like dived right into my normal bubble of normalcy. I'm the one that had repercussions from that. My siblings were like, fuck off. I was like, it's fine. It was weird. We had no lines with my mother, who would have been very distraught. I think they had DV too, but it was both of them. Like for real, physical, both of them, if I'm not mistaken. But hers would have probably been. I don't know what the reality is with it is, at least now knowing my mother, honestly. I think that my bio dad probably deserves a lot more credit with their fucking drama than he's gonna get, knowing my mother too. But I got to meet him, and I saw why she didn't want me around him either. You know who took me to go see him? My daddy. He thought that I had that right, and my mama judged me by anything that she thought might be related to my bio dad, but I was just trying to see who the fuck he was. I don't know why the fuck I went down like that. I should just do voiceovers, so I don't even think I'm good at accents. I don't know, I go with it. My dad and my little sister and my grandma that I called in 2017, and I called Rosie and Lillian my angels, because they came at times of severe trauma and grief and suffering that I felt very alone in, and I didn't want a cat. But Rosie was my one angel. And I think this all happened after I got back from one of my best friends from Ohio. We went to like Washington. We went to Mount Rainier, Seattle, Portland, OC. We hung out with my friends in OC, and then so I drove, and I got the rental car in Cali, which I think I had the Blazer at the time, so I didn't want to drive it, so we got a rental car, and then we hung out with my friends there. We took Abby and Daisy, and then Patty took Daisy when we got back to Scottsdale, and then we flew to Seattle, what is that, Renton? By the airport, Renton? Is that Renton? Am I right about that? I don't know, Seattle. And I remember, like, we landed, and she got the rental car there, because, like, neither of us knew how to drive in Washington or Seattle. Oh my god, it was so scary. I can drive in LA, but you put the trees and the weird in it, oh my god, oh. How did we get alive? I don't know how the fuck that little girl got, she's tiny. And then we ended up getting this weird fucking luxury car, I don't know, but anyways, the point is that neither of us knew how to drive in Seattle. I was fine in OC in LA, so I was like, I'll take care of it, and I took care of it. We split it. That's how we did it. And we went to Mount Rainier, and we had Abby with us in Portland and Seattle, and we got a bunch of Airbnbs. Oh, my little traveling mole. And Patty took care of Daisy, and then Rosie, we didn't have Rosie until after. And then I think, well, so what was going on is my bio dad wanted to come out because he's kind of like, well, I think BPD is also like a little bit of an immaturity stunt too. I don't understand the depths of it. I probably should research it to see what I've observed and what's clinically correct. But I've seen too much of it now that I have questions. But on what I want to speak on it for, whether it's not just my observation and I'm actually factually basing my opinions on it. But so anyways, like he didn't like regular jobs. He was always under the radar. I think there's like an authority issue with people like that. Because there's something with BPD that makes you feel like whatever it is, you deserve what you deserve when you feel like it. And I don't know if that's all trauma or, I mean, there's like different types of mental illness, and then there's like insanity and like sociopathy and like sociopathy. And what's the other one? Oh my god, my brain. I don't know. The ones where you have no soul and you don't give a fuck. Those are not the same, okay, as BPD. BPD is a cope, in my opinion, from what I've understood before. Stop, please. Weirdo. Anyways, my point being is that, like, he oh yeah, did I ever tell you guys that my pit bull, I gave him my pit bull because he cried. He was watching him when I was in college, and I would be working after my mom took my other dog that I out of respect for her safety, I had to give her to my mom when I was first in my first apartments. My friends played dirty bullshit tricks. Almost got her killed one night. I was fucking my ex in my bedroom and I woke up and I saw that Roxy was literally running under a moving car because two boys I won't mention that weren't close friends of mine and I don't talk to anymore. I don't hate them. Nobody was like respectful. I was the one working constantly in my first place. My one friend's mom had money and like she didn't really have to work if she really just fucked off. It wasn't like hurting her to just kick it and do her own thing constantly. I was in college working, trying to have nothing abusive from my mother and have her be proud of me. And then my other girlfriend, I think her mom was like off the government. She had some like mental health issues and I'm just saying they had resources when I had nothing. My family was either not caring enough to care to help because it was stubborn. Retaliation mostly from my mother, and my dad often did not get in her way directly. Like I said, he left for 3 days and she made him stay out of the house officially for 3 years. And all that man did was love her and take care of a kid that he never had to care about. He cared about a woman that cared about a man that was a fantasy in her history that she didn't have anymore. And then one day, finally, my mom decided he was good enough for her, and I think that's all he ever deserved. But, yeah, so, like, I moved out, I worked my ass off, I still partied, I had a lot, I was wild, my very early 20s and late teens were very, very, very hardcore. But I had, like, a death wish, too, and also not that I wanted to hurt anyone else, it was just like, if I die, I die, it's gonna be okay, but not like I didn't put myself in situations where others would get hurt. It'd be like, if I drink too much and I take too much of this, I don't care. If I literally, like, need to run into a wall and try, like, I'm telling you guys, I didn't live for me. Ever in my life. I just never felt like I truly, like, fully hated myself. I just didn't want to care because life was just a little bit more traumatic for me. And I didn't understand the nuance of why I felt that way until more recently, I guess. But yeah, after 2020, so 2019, long story short, after the medical bullshit where everything was falling apart. Oh yeah, so Rosie, this is towards the end now. So, me and my best friend, she flew out and then we split the cars. We went all over the place. She stayed at our home base was Scottsdale, of course. So she got to see my whole life out west. And then my best friend and her daughter came out. Anyways, long story short, a lot of my friends came out west to see me and it was fun and it was cool. And I was the one that was considered like I had my shit together first. And then I got sick. And then everybody that had family that really did actually genuinely care and had resources that they could have helped their kids really take a leg up on and move forward from. It was just circumstantial and very manipulative with my mother, and my dad had no control of it, but he's the one who made the money, which is really funny because when she lost her job at that one place, she literally tried so hard not to work for so long until my dad finally got mad about it. And don't let me lie, like the woman's worked hard and she's gotten cut short in her life, honey. But that's not my fault. I loved her and I looked up to her, so that's fucked how she literally will watch me drown in front of her and tell me it's anything but it's not, just to make herself feel better about it. I don't know what that means. I don't know the depths of it. I just know that she'll die for me if it's not about me and her problems traumatically that I'm connected to. So I still think she's not a narcissist. Maybe she is a little bit, but I don't know. I think it's a cope. That is just a pathetic, weak, unaccountable, emotional cope that she will not ever admit to herself. I think a part of her hates herself for how she's done nothing in the moments that I needed her the most. I think deep down she's aware of it, but I don't think she really feels like, I don't know, there's some cognitive dissonance with it. Anyway, so Rosie, okay, so I got back from Seattle with Abby, my best friend, back to Ohio. She went back to Ohio, and then I started working again, and it was still in the era of the medical issues. It was actually towards the end when I was realizing my money that I had savings for and I had money to like build things with was slowly disappearing because I was so sick. There was a lot of times I just couldn't go make money, and I would stay in bed for days. I would be sick as fuck, wishing I would die. But I also didn't always wish I would die. It was the pain. It was the pain. It wasn't the mental. I wanted to live next. I had such a beautiful thing going for me, and I wish I would have been more grateful even then, but I still don't know how all this happened. So Rosie, my bio dad, after I get back from Seattle with my bestie who went home. Lots of fun, but towards the end of an era where I was totally feeling absolutely out of control for abuse, emotional or physical, but it was mostly emotional. Well, my mom sat on me one time. But yeah, no, we gotta go back to that incident the day I killed myself. She basically like blamed me, and she cornered me in the kitchen and wouldn't let me move. And told me over and over with this look in her eye that someone we won't name also had, and someone like my bio dad would get when he was manic, when he spun the fucking playground thing. And I said, Dad, please stop. When I was 7 or 8 years old, that's why his rights got taken away. Yeah, that's a scar, okay? Because someone with mania, I don't know if you've ever felt it before. I've never felt it to the point where I wanted to have to seriously hurt someone else. So if you've ever been in such a shitty mental state where you just kind of look at someone that you think, I don't know, like it's low-key how I was the other night when Victoria pointed it out. I was shit-talking everything. I'm sorry, Stu. I love you so much. I know you don't. You're just my bestie, huh? Well, what I'm not telling you has been going on behind the scenes, and you guys have just decided it ain't like that, and I'm going through hell behind the scenes. And I should be living my life right now because I just worked so hard for my peace. There's very small things I need to just get my reality of happiness back, and I did the most of the work. Why isn't anyone fucking giving a fuck to really take seriously that I just need to feel safe out of other people's thumbs, and I can work, and I don't have to be dumb. And the problem that was bringing me back to you guys is now gone. I can fuck off and never come back on the internet again, and I'll be just fine if I have a car, and I'm not in someone's house that has resources that literally could be more effort put into things when I'm putting everything and then some into things with bare minimum. And I get that, but like, if you're gonna say you want to help somebody, please do it all the way. Not just like give up when it's hard a little for someone. Like, and me, it's hell. I'm not giving up, but I'm about to. Holy fuck. Like, there's so many things that if I had a car, I would just be able to just green light my life for. Why doesn't anyone want that for me who's telling me to smile or, I know this is, you've been sexually abused and exploited in your body, and those are hate crimes of severe criminality, by the way, but we don't have any empathy. Why don't you give us your whole? Because I'm not gonna give you my whole. Fuck, I don't want to be your wifey. I don't know any of you. Fuck. But am I a human to any of you enough that you have extra money for a car that could bother? Because my mom can't right now. She's checked out. She'll pay for a fucking apartment that won't last, and I would need her co-sign with anyways. But can I just get my life back so I have an established history of work and income so that I can just get my own? Anyone feel like that's something I deserve? I guess not. Okay, so fuck all of you that have told me that you'll give me something if I give you something. No, I have done more for less for others. I deserve that too right now. I don't respect anyone telling me that. I don't respect anyone that said they cared, that had the luxury to walk away, that is giving me low tier fucking thought processes of things that would not work. Because why would they work? Oh my God, it's like people think I'm really this dumb. Why did you go do this and this? Oh my God, maybe I've tried, and there's a lot to it. And even if I do have opportunities to get things back, that's still a process. Oh my God. No, I don't want to know so many of you, including those of you that tell me you care and can't right now. Sorry, just real. I don't hate anyone though, I really don't. I don't actually. In fact, I just kind of like still, like even Controlla, she's such an empty soulless slug. I look at her and I'm like, what is wrong with you? Everyone hates you. You're really dumb. People just, literally all the rejects from everywhere else that hate me, that found a weapon in exploiting me, that's the only reason people follow you and listen to you and agree with you. It's because it suits a narrative that you allow and harness. Okay, you harbor it. You profit off of it. Well, I have little. And you've ruined my reality so that I can't keep doing the things that I should be. And you're complicit with horrible things. Yeah. No, fuck you, whore. You're a skank, you're trash. But I don't hate you. You should disappear from my brain, though. Why am I so stuck in yours, freak? Be something of your own doing. For fuck's sake, God. I mean, look, you're still not even competent as a counselor, you piece of shit bully. But yet, you're still older than me, getting a degree that you told me mine didn't exist for. Who are you and what's wrong with you? I never drove in a car high with a kid that I said I loved while I ignored it. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is how I feel, bitch. Be grateful. Get off the internet. Stop drooling over me as you pass out with your DoorDash. I don't watch you, but I hear about it all the time. Trust that. People hate you. And people have turned on hating me because of how much you are a pathetic failure at my, behest or whatever. You are so obvious, and the only people that support you are people that are petty and didn't get what they wanted from me that they felt entitled to, and that's still just exactly my point. Yikes, why would I want them? They're the rejects. Anywho, there's nothing of value to you in my opinion, and you could really be appreciative of things that matter in your life that I don't have, that I wish I had and I should have had, because I worked harder for you to sit on your ass and not get anywhere in life, you fucking junkie, telling a bitch who has been through hell that you could have never gotten through. Let's be real, you're not smart enough to even know what the fuck reality is. You couldn't have done this. You get to sit in daddy's home, just as gross as I am with no trauma, by the way. Currently, anyways. Yikes. And nothing to say that you built yourself, right? You should get off the internet and make your own life matter, because me hating me ain't gonna fix it for you. And bitch, I'm almost out and I'm gonna make my life matter, because I've done that before. Catch up, head. Fucking dare tell me I haven't been through the hell I've been through. There is something really wrong with that. And you are harassing a domestic violence victim. Bitch, I would shut the fuck up. It may already be too late for you. That was the grossest shit I've ever heard, and I don't ever pay attention to anything you ever tell me. I hear people all the time that hate how you speak on me, though. And I know the rumors that you start that don't exist as reality. I had to spend $25 as my money was slowly chipped out more and more to prove yet again that maybe Controlla has no idea what reality is. And instead of a sorry vegan, you were right. And why would you lie about that, Controlla? Wow. It was just like they dropped it and moved on to another smear that they could not, that they forced me to prove again, as if I owe you guys all that. Get the fuck away from me with that shit, yikes. Okay, so anyways, yeah, basically, my bio dad showed up in Arizona. He was I don't know what he did. He was really excited because, he was in Montana, I think, and he found, Montana, I think wherever he was, the weed distribution was legal. But he likes to cut corners, and he drove across the country and sold it for a premium in Ohio because he had connects. I don't remember if he was living in Ohio, went out and came back, or he was living, I don't remember, but, well, I'm not going to talk about all the details. I'm just going to say that, I had a job, and I asked him to tell me dates, and I asked him to give me times. And he just showed up when he felt like it in the dead summer when I had a medical condition. And part of the mania of bipolar, or borderline, is I think that, there's such a cope to be heard. And I feel that, I get that. But it seems like people that just, borderline, it's you can't tell them no when you have a boundary if they feel they don't need to respect it. I don't know what the fuck the depths of that is, but... And then there's a big, projection thing with some stuff. Anyways, I don't know. All I'm saying is that, he just showed up. He didn't give a fuck that I said, hey, I have a job and I have a medical condition and it's really hard and my car doesn't chew too well in the heat. And, so what does he do? He literally just calls me one day halfway there and tells me how he and my pit bull that I gave him they would be on the way, and he didn't tell me he didn't have air conditioning in his car. How the fuck is that my problem anyways? He expected me to just give him a key to my home. I barely know him like that, and I would have, but like, damn, dude, the entitlement. And then like, he threw a fucking borderline fucking manic episode where like I'm literally like not able to get done with my job soon enough. And also like he was like running his mouth about something totally badly and not really that important outside in my backyard, and I had to leave to go inside. He was more offended that I couldn't just let him finish his long tangent of nonsense that really wasn't as important as me not fading. And then like he literally, I don't know, it's just like there's this weird disconnect with at least him where it's like, damn, dude, why do you only think about yourself in the moments that I'm literally showing you very clearly like I have an obstacle I would like to relieve? But no, I don't think it hits him that like other people's emotions and feelings are just as important as his when he's in the heat of it. I guess that's actually a few people I've realized lately. Abigail, I'm gonna put you down, mama. Can you walk? Are you good? It's a little chilly, but if you walk, it'll warm me up, huh? I want to hold you in my little toasty stew. You want to get down for a second, kiddo? Can you walk in a straight line? No, please, mommy has no hands. Please and thank yous. Thank you so bad. Let's go this way. Anyway, so he just showed up. I really did want to see him and my baby, Benjamin. And it was just me, Abby, Daisy at the time. And I think I'd had Squirt, and I was doing some fosters before that, but Rosie was the first pet after the dogs that was permanent. And he came right after all the shit with my bio dad. And, fuck. So, basically, you know, boundaries, I have triggers with boundaries being disrespected. They've been disrespected for a very, very disgusting amount of time at this point by all levels of people I trusted and didn't trust. Yeah, I'm gonna lose it if you disrespect a boundary and it gets into a trigger for me. Yes, that's normal. It's called trauma. Don't provoke it. Anyways, oh shit, you guys are at 20%. I want to try to get somewhere. I'm trying to go and then I'm gonna sit down again. I don't feel good. I don't. So like I got back from Seattle with my best friend who went back to Ohio, and it was just me and Abby and Daisy. Got Daisy back from Patty. I went back to work. It's like only a month or two after, right? It was like July. Yeah, it was monsoon season. Okay, so check this. You guys wanted to give me shit about my bathtub. Well, okay, this is a retarded thing. I've explained this though. And actually me and Patty figured it out. What I was concerned, okay, every summer it would flood. But my house was next to the same line as the washer and dryer units, because the laundry room was next to my house. My piping was completely one. And during monsoon season, my bathtub would just back up and start flooding. It was disgusting. But that year, it flooded my whole living room to the point where I literally had to fucking like scoop out the water from my fucking... So the door was open, and Rosie had been born in my neighbor's backyard, but I didn't think they would come in and live with me. And the only thing I regret the most is not bringing this sister into, who really wanted to come move into. His mama was feral as fuck, and his black little sibling and his dad were black, and they both died. But Rosie he took it upon himself to randomly he literally just moved in, and he went under my couch. And I knew it was him, but it took a while to remember I even had a baby him picture, which was so cool when I found it. I don't have pictures of any of them as babies. Rosie's an anomaly, okay? Rosie is the male. He is the man of the house, but he's such a dork. He wants to be one of the girls. He's the man of the house. He's silent. He's patient. My Bubba, dude, that is my Bubba. He's the only baby. He's the baby now. Bean's gone. Anyways, long story short, my bio dad, I haven't talked to him since, and he drove off with my pit bull. And it was because he lost his temper about being inconvenienced because he left his hotel room, didn't communicate, expected me to just stop doing what I was doing, which he doesn't like to follow the rules of society. And I was just getting through. I wanted to pay my bills and do my job and make my clients happy. And it was hot, and I was sick, and in a car that really didn't handle the heat too well. The Corolla and the Yaris were good because they were newer. The Blazer though, which my friend in OC actually gave me when I got hit, and I didn't owe anything, but it just covered the principal of the Yaris. Anyways, the Blazer was a gift my friend gave me. Very well maintained, but it was a Chevy. I drove a lot for work, and in general I drove a lot, and Chevys are not built like that if you don't know how to maintain them or have the small money I didn't always have to fix maintenance issues with. Corollas, Toyotas, Hondas, like you beat the fuck out of them and use them and kick their asses, drive them everywhere. Shit, I'm pretty sure there was a Honda Civic. I had a friend that said they didn't have any oil in it, and that thing drove for like a minute. I don't know, I'm just saying, like, when I get my cars, I don't like to get ones that I have to worry about too much immediately for. That was the other thing about the transmission. Like, dude, I literally, what would I have done with that $5,000 my family gave me if I wouldn't have put $4,000 into principal and $1,000? I have the documents for all of this, you retards who tell me this didn't happen, by the way. I just, like, enough people have seen it. Go look it up yourselves. You guys are stalkers, you will. You could, but you won't. It would dispel your narratives. I also am not going to sit here and waste a second further proving all of you that my reality is my reality because you feel like it and you don't have a life to, like, stress for survival for. I do. So, like, you live your reality. I'm not going to sit around proving you mine. But plenty of people know, and the documents show this. I'm going to throw up. Hold on. I'm sick. Thank you. We're going back, actually. Sorry. I'm gonna just ask Purple to take me in the car because he's not doing anything right now. I don't think he'll be mad. And if he doesn't, fuck it. I don't even care. Well, I can't right now, though. I don't feel good. Fuck. I'm so sick. Anyway, so basically, like, all that, Rosie was my angel kitty because after my bio dad left, after he, what did he call me? Because I wasn't able to get him weed, he thought he just, like, has this, like, assumed entitlement of so many things. Like, I don't know if that was his mental health issues or just something else, but all I know is that, like, pretty much he was blaming me for not just dropping everything so he could get in my air conditioning because he left his hotel early and, like, he decided to make an impromptu visit without planning when I asked him for better planning, and then he and my poor pitbull Benjamin were stuck in the fucking heat while I had to get back from work. Like, it was crazy. And then, like, anyways, he wanted to go get food. It ended like this. He wanted to go get food and he was cranky because he was hungry. Like, it was all me with him. It was wild. And I accommodated the best I could, but I couldn't just drop what I was doing, nor could I make traffic disappear when I was coming back from a job I told him I'd be home by a certain point from. Like, all he could have done was taken account and responsibility for any of it, literally any of it, down to, why would you leave out of a hotel room assuming your daughter that has a job that you refuse to have a normal social functioning to have? No offense. I don't know. People live in worlds of everything they do is right and nothing anyone else does could be because they're right and nobody else could be. It's just, like, that's wild to me, though. So he just assumed that he was allowed into a dispensary for no reason. By the way, this was, like, what, 2017? Yeah. He just, like, got really angry because I had to break the reality that he couldn't just come with me into the dispensary, and he just wanted to eat and get fucking weed because he ran out because he sold it all. That's his shit. Okay, how about I get through traffic? I have a client I'm gonna responsibly finish my duties for. Anyways, with a car that, like, doesn't like the heat at all because the Chevy was having issues with it. I think this was, like, the second year I had it. I think I had it for 3 years, right? So the Yaris got fucking totaled in 15, right? No, 16. It was right before I graduated. Oh my God, yeah. And then my best friend gave me that Blazer so I could get finished with school, which was already hell, and then also, like, I didn't stop working. Okay, yeah. So 16 to, what was it? I think it was 18 I got the Corolla. Was it 18? No, I think it was 19 and it was 2017. I don't remember exactly. Anyways, no, I think it was 2018 is when I got the Corolla. Anyways, so I guess I had the fucking Blazer for like 2 years. Whew. And I tried to be responsible with it. I drove it to, oh my God, I have a story with this too. I drove it to fucking LA. Well, it was OC. I didn't like LA unless I went to West Hollywood. And me and my best friend from OC, that was like West Hollywood. It was, I don't know if you guys know, what was it? Was it Chop Shop? No, it's not Chop Shop. It was a Saddle Ranch Chop House. They used to have one in Glendale. So when she'd visit me, we'd go to that one. And then I believe there was one in OC too, but we preferred the one in West Hollywood. If I'm not mistaken, there was more than one. I don't know. We went to the WeHo one, and then me and my other girlfriend, we always went to Khoisan, which was North Orange County. Anywho, not the point. I only drove the Blazer across the state lines once. Holy fuck, that was an adventure because, well, the car was okay. I do think it pushed it into its last moments of functionality that were smooth. But,
Anonymous sent $5.
Service. I don't know if you guys can hear me right now. I think there's a service disconnect. Hold on. Oh, come on, dude. Why? Thank you. Hold on. Let me fix this. Hold on. Work. I will replay this. Promise. And I'll put it on a Bluetooth speaker too. So hold on, guys. We're getting there. Let me see. I'm gonna fix that. Hold on. I'm gonna fall over and faint. I don't feel good.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, I'm just trauma dumping and getting things out, and then I'm gonna see if maybe you don't mind if we could go to the dispensary. I was trying to walk, but I got sick. Okay.
It's awfully quiet.
I know. I got boogie. I saw that because I had to open the door. I can't breathe. Give me a second. Sorry. I will catch up with you in a second, please. Sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I just feel like death. My heart is racing like a fucking motherfucker. I want to replay that with a Bluetooth. Hold on. Thank you, by the way. Yeah, Abby, please stop. That is really unacceptably annoying. Why would you even shriek like that in my ear right now, dog? Please stop. It's like, literally have some fucking patience, Boogie. For fuck's sake. I love you. But please stop. Please, my dear. Do not shriek in my ear. I'll have a panic attack and I will not be able to help you if you pressure me. I'm trying to make a space for you now. Get away from me so I can pick you up and put you on the bed. Move, down there. Come on. Oh, Logan's. Hold on. Let me... Do you know that your excitement to do whatever you want really gets in the way of you doing what you want? Thank you. Okay. Hold on. Oh. We're gonna cut this short soon. I gotta get a few things out though before I head out. I do appreciate, oh, and I'll replay that too. Hold on a second though. One thing at a time, and there's a lot more that I really need a therapist for, and if anyone wanted that for me, they wouldn't have gone after my income. They wouldn't have gaslit me to even where people who could help me won't. So I'm stuck in a state of only if I give others what they want will I be helped. I've done a lot more in my life with just this period, or all of it, that I should have ever had to be right where I'm at right now, which I don't think anyone would deserve if they put the effort into feeling safe and comfortable and mid-level human that I've put effort into life. I also need a drink. Holy shit, I don't feel good. So yeah, none of you that contributed to this, fuck you for actually having the nerve to speak to me how you have as if I could have done better, or the people that should know me better listening to people that aren't like you guys that know better. And then also just in general, the things in my life I've had to prove myself more as valid than other people that get to just breathe and smile while I'm told that I'm a piece of shit on drugs. So I get it all. So yeah, I'm sorry, Mama. I love you. I do love you. I don't know if you love me sometimes, but I think you do somewhere. I just think it's hard when it hurts you more than it should, because you'd rather sacrifice my health emotionally, physically, and period, as a human, than your own ego when you can't admit that you fucked up or you had a part to play in things. And that sucks. I've accepted that though. I still don't know if I think she's a narcissist, but I'm not going to perseverate on it. It's sad what's going on right now. Although there's a lot to all of it. I'll be right back. I'm going to finish my story. Because I need to. I deserve that. You guys know. I literally just wanted a water, Abby. Are you coming or are you going to hang out with Rudy? Hang out with Rudy, Boogie. God damn. Why don't you keep moving in? I feel like that. Okay. You have fun, Abigail. She will have fun with Rudy, and I'm just going to sit and rest for a second. I could say my blood pressure, huh? I'm actually going to do that. I was talking to Victoria about that with her symptoms, and I'm not going to tell you guys all the things I've talked to her about. I actually learn things with my body. If anyone else has medical issues, if it affects your autonomic system and your general vitals, it doesn't hurt to know what's going on when you're symptomatic. So I'm going to check that, right? I'm sure it's plot related. Why wouldn't it be? But also, it might just be panic related and stress related too. Where's that little fucking... Okay, anyways. Thank you. I'm going to replay that too with a Bluetooth on. Hold on a second. Let me connect you guys. Give me a moment. I really just want to finish and I want to go get some weed and I don't have any money. Well, thank you. I might have enough for a little bit more now. Thank you, actually, for that. That's really the only thing that's helped my brain shut off is weed. And then when I'm in a good mood, it's a lot of fun to just get the good weed and be funny. And me and Purple have a lot of fun. We just babble. I don't know. The simple things that I'm not allowed to have that you all tell me I don't appreciate. No, I don't have them to appreciate. You've taken them from me. Fuck yourselves. I fought like death to not lose them. And yet here we are. I'll be right back. I will get to the fucking... I'm going to replay it. Please hang... I'm going to replay it. Please hang tight. Literally, person here. Anyways, I will replay it. Thank you for the donation. Honestly, I never asked for you guys to really, pay my way. I just said if I'm here, don't make me not have... if I'm here and you see things that have been done through the internet that I didn't deserve to have happen to me, and they were financial and they put me in a situation of endangerment, and all y'all that act like you gave a fuck about me, you literally protested me the moment I fucking had a right to do what I did and served him. You literally turned it into a sport where you wanted to rub in my face I wasn't human and I didn't deserve rights and peace, and that's not legal, obviously, as we know, but I shouldn't have had to fight that hard for that, and I shouldn't be here now because of that. All of what he did to me was enough. How the fuck do you guys live with yourselves knowing that you took part in so much of this? Actually, honestly, what is wrong with so many of you? And those of you that walked away and pretended it was scary, well, what do you think I went through? You want to tell me how I'm not doing good enough? No, I don't think you care at that point. I think you're convenient, and I don't want to talk to you if those are the reactions I'm getting from anyone pretending to give a fuck about me. So, I'm going to replay this. Let's see. I haven't done this in a while because you know what? You guys don't give me a reason to bring around a speaker. You guys don't give me a reason to feel like you guys respect that I do. I really, if I'm here and I've already been exploited, fucking pay it forward. Yikes. Treat me like you think I'm worth it. I'm not going to stay here if this is the vibe. But thank you. Today was nice. I appreciate that. Although I should literally have all the things I can talk about these things in private. I shouldn't have to be so traumatized to the point that before I dip out, if I need to, you guys just need to know the fucking facts before I do. Otherwise, I don't get what, I don't know, man. I didn't grow up feeling like the world felt like this about me. I didn't grow up feeling like the world was even this inhuman towards people that were suffering in front of them. I don't know what any of this means. So, it's sad. It is sad. I also thought that the people that always told me to not die really wanted me not to die. But at this point, what the fuck would I expect when they're watching me dying in front of them? And I just need a little bit of help. And instead it's gaslit, and it's manipulated, and it's controlled, and it's gross. So anyways, working on replaying that dono. That was the wrong prompt. I don't even remember power chat. Guys, you've literally punished me for nothing you had a right to fucking hurt me for. And you made it funny for me to half want to stay. Because why the fuck would I want to kick it if you guys don't even respect my time and vulnerability financially that I don't deserve? Also, you've seen how the emotional exploitation's been, and you're just fine with all that. What the fuck, dude, Like, no, I don't trust anyone cares right now, even if you say you do. There's a lot more everyone could have done that wouldn't have inconvenienced them that bad. Purple and his dad went through hell. No one that false reports is going to get far right now. Anyone who wanted to truly care about me, there's a lot of people who wouldn't even be affected because the worst is over. I did that, you cowards. While you walked away and pretended I wasn't really going through what I went through, or you could be like, oh yeah, vegan, that's horrible. Okay, are you okay? No, I'm barely on the shore. Like, can someone pump the water out of my lungs? I was drowning for a while. Yeah, I fought real hard not to fully succumb, but it was uncomfortable and I was tormented. Nobody cares. Yeah, I have no respect for a lot of people, honestly, at this point. Hold on, though. Trying to get to my thoughts. I mean, look, even Michael and Eric, I don't know Eric like I used to, but I feel like there's a part of him that's ready to get back, you know? And Mike even, like, he admitted, and I appreciate that. Mike, I wish you would not call me at 2 a.m. I really miss you, and I thought you were like a homie before, you know, the worst happened. But I also think that you've been fair with me this year to a point that I really appreciate it. And I think me, Eric, and Mike all come from families that I do think they love us. But I think Mike and Eric's mama will put up with things that my mama would want to run from. And that's sad. You guys made a problem that you didn't even know was a problem 10 times worse by what you did with my ex, who I loved. It's really gross that all of you put your fingers into that cookie jar to make my life so demonically tormented that, like, someone as tough as me and as independent and as benign and willing to dip out, you didn't even let me do that. Oh, God. Anyways, so I'm going to replay this. Hold on. Thank you so much.
Anonymous sent $5.
I'll take this. Oh, you guys can hear me now. I'm just saying people could have done more when they saw what I was going through, and they didn't. And I've done more for people who went through less. Slap in the face. That was the worst thing I put it on. Ordinary accident. Okay, so that's not good. Well, oh dude, that's actually exactly what I was worried about. This is literally isolated hypertension. That is not ideal. I'm definitely episodic right now. Okay, I'm taking a picture of this. This is what I was telling B about the other day. Okay, so diastolic's on the bottom, systolic's on the top. Okay, my heart rate's 131, which not great for just walking and barely walking up steps, but with POTS, not too unexpected. However, diastolic's bottom number, and it is like 85. Top is only 120. It should be like, wait. No, so okay, 85 is really high for a diastolic. Usually it's like fucking 60 average, I think. Let me double check. Let me see what the average is for blood pressure ratings, because mine's typically lower, and in my brain I actually haven't paid any fucking attention so long, because I know how my body, I know, like, that's what I was trying to tell Victoria, like, anyone with like internal issues that you need to track what your symptoms mean. I don't look at this anymore because I know what's going on in my body now, but I used to like religiously take this with me when I started realizing that my symptoms could correlate with my my internal stuff. And actually, when POTS was being studied, there was this Texas study that literally, it basically did that. It would like have a Holter monitor and stuff like hooked up to people. And so then they would put them under stress tests so that you knew what was going on physiologically underneath the symptoms. Because POTS is so hard to just notice from the surface what the real problem is. And I thought that was honorable. It didn't fix everything, but it was interesting. And now when I get certain, I mean, that would, hold on. Okay. Average blood pressure reading. So let me just read before I speak too much. For women. Okay, adult women. Yeah. The 60s that was like 80 fucking, what was it? Hold on, I take a picture. That was way high for a diastolic for someone that's healthier or in shape enough. I mean, I've been in better shape and I've literally had worse symptoms, so it ain't like that. Trust that. But if you're in bad shape, of course, those overlap even worse with the things that, okay, so let's check. Oh my God, it was, 121/85. Okay, so 120 is pretty normal. It's kind of high for me with the systolic, but the diastolic being 85 that's called isolated hypertension. Yikes. Okay, let's Google. Let me make sure that exact number would be considered such, but let me see. Okay. Isolated hypertension is when diastolic is higher than systolic, and usually they correlate, like one's high and the other one gets higher. That's normal average high blood pressure. But when I'm episodic, I am typically low blood pressure, but when I'm episodic, when I get dizzy, and then I wake up with the excruciating head pains that I want to be dead or chop my head off for, like I can't move, honestly, like not kidding. That was why Nurtec was such a blessing, and then I had that, and then I had to leave, and it is, yeah, fuck all of you for taking things. I just worked out my life to work out in my life that I was proud of, and I knew what, I mean, God, Nurtec saved my, like, ass. Anyways. I don't have access to those things, but at least I know they exist, so when I eventually get back to being allowed to be a person, like, you know. Yeah, okay, yeah. It is lower level isolated systolic hypertension. Yeah, and it's not an average. It's also a pretty damaging type of fucking high blood pressure. But 120/85, dude, it should have been, if I had an 85 systolic or diastolic, I probably would have had closer to like 140 fuck, I always mix up top and bottom. Top number should have correlated going higher with the bottom number. Instead, I want to say it was my lowest blood pressure average. I've been in the 50s on diastolic. And systolic was like 110 to 105 before. I've been there before, but average I would say is like 110 to 115 over like 65-ish. 85 under 120. Not the worst in the universe, just not good. Yeah, anyways, so it's not a good high blood pressure, but it explains why my headaches get so bad when I have the dizziness. It also, you know, I'm sure if I really wanted to put the research into it or go to a specialist that I'd have access to, that most of them, they liked that I had a medical degree, although it was animals. Yes, I know I'm not special. Well, but it's parallel in a lot of ways to human medicine. And I'm sorry, not sorry, you have to take boards. I wasn't a CBT because I didn't go to fucking take the boards. You know why? Because I was feigning and having medical issues. So I started working with pet sitting stuff in business. I was still in my field. Anyways, and it worked better for me. Instead of me getting so sick, again, it wasn't also shift-based. All the things that worked for me, you've taken while telling me to do things that don't work for me. Get the fuck out of my face with that shit, yikes. How about you guys find jobs and lives? I'm trying to live mine. You're literally sadists, you're psychos, and you're nobodies. I think many of you are going to hell, actually. I might be in purgatory, but I think most of you are going to be burning alive in hell, frankly, at this point. This isn't human, and I would never do this to someone. This is not how I would spend my time. So there's that. Anywho. Alright. So, Rosie's an angel because my bio dad did what he wanted, didn't give a fuck about my boundaries like nobody ever fucking does. I still complied my best because I'm a people pleaser and I wanted to know him. But I didn't get him to the dispensary. He couldn't enter fast enough, where he was so angry that he realized he couldn't go in because he wasn't an Arizona resident with a card. It was only medical, and you had to have a card then. There's weird assumptive entitlement of things that people want to believe are going to work out for them because they feel that way. I don't feel like that. I always expect life to hate me and for me to have to suffer a little before I get things, but I know if I work hard enough, usually I get what I want. And like I said, I worked through a lot of things before 2020. So I know when my emotional state is in my control and where communication helps. And when people don't give a fuck about me communicating and my triggers are crossed, what the fuck? You knew that. Y'all got content out of it. You made money off of that. That's sick. It's also criminal, but I digress. Not the point right now. So, basically couldn't get my bio dad. As I rushed back in the heat, sick from work, which he had no obligations to possess as well, any interest in commitment to. Whatever's easiest, whatever gets you what you want the fastest, and it doesn't matter if it hurts other people or if it's really up to you to decide to take that shortcut and the law says you can and you can or you can't. But anyways, I was playing by the rules. I also am a person that could not like just transport from where I was to where he wanted me to be then. After he just didn't even communicate. I literally asked for communication for reasons, guys. All of the things I talk about, this is part of that. This whole trauma dump you're getting, I need before I disappear, because I'm about to. And I'm about to fuck off with knowing any of ya. Honestly, really and truly, honestly. And I don't hate anyone either. I probably should, and it would be valid. In fact, the only thing I want for the person that wants me to die the most is to go back to their father who loves them, and they deserve that. Because I'm not someone's father. I was just a piece of fucking ass for a second in their life, and I don't have to fucking matter like that. But his dad did. Anyways. Yeah, I don't hate really anyone. I just like no one. I don't give a fuck either. And it's not a bad thing for me to not give a fuck. I have that right too. If you don't give me a reason to ride or die for you, which I will for the people I care about, who, like I said, that is the biggest slap in the face right now. The people that had more than me and got even just the ability to look at the sky and appreciate it. Like when I was literally like so tired, I told the EBT dude, like, what place in hell while I was playing lawyer and having my time wasted in all these businesses and entities. And I did still have jobs, but they were hard, and I had to split the money because I don't have a car anymore, because I was trying to get a dude off meth that promised me he would get off meth. I got us all established. They went crazy. I didn't see my P.O. box because my mental state of focus was him. I've never missed payments before. Who are you people that make these? It's all documented, and you're stalkers. All you could do is put the effort in to stalk me for the right reasons. I don't want to hear that you can't find this information. I know you all have found things that you had no right to find, okay? So, yikes. Pretending that you don't know my reality is what it is just a cope. So start there. Do better in your lives if you think my life needs to be hurt so you feel better about yourself. There's something real twisted about that. Anywho, so Rosie, my angel before Bean. So basically my bio dad, like long story short, he wanted things that I couldn't do possibly, and he could have done more on, again, his part to have contributed to effort-wise to make what he wanted happen sooner, because I'm a human and I'm not everybody's fucking mom. Jeez, fuck. Anywho, he basically called me all these names in the middle of the dispensary. It was so embarrassing. It was one I went to regularly, and like, my Benjamin, my little Bubba. I left him with my bio dad because I thought my bio dad really needed him. He was supposed to come out with me to LA though. I left, it worked out. The little dogs obviously make more sense out west, and especially in the home I was in, it would have made more. I've had look at, I just want to tell everybody that if you know and like LD, please tell him sorry, because Duke, we just lost Duke. And him and his mom were two of the only people who really cared when Bean was going. Everybody else ignored what was happening as if it was my fault. I don't think anyone did what I did and held it together as long as I did, with all the absolute, complete, intentional and non-intentional forces behind all of it. So rest in paradise, Duke and Bean. Rest in fucking paradise, guys. wants to take Abby from me so I can run on the streets because I don't deserve that. Neither does Abby, and I don't think Abby would like that. Why would you go after my income and tell me I don't take care of my dog? That is literally the last pennies I spent to do was take care of my dog. I then pay for bills that literally I have to, like my phone, which literally are how I make money. I'm sorry. Yikes. So anywho, what I'm saying is, Rosie, right? I don't know what that one, where's that girl? That's weird. What is that one? Hold on a second, we gotta figure this out real fast. Long story short, Bio Dad went crazy, started calling me all these names. I looked at Benjamin's head as they drove off, and I never talked to him again. And then the day after, his mom, who I believe was not the woman she ended up being, and my mom was right about the whole time, and she probably did really do horrible things to my bio dad, but she's very manipulative, and she had me fooled for a minute. It was just all horrible. And you know who I called the day that it traumatized me? My mom, or my sister, my grandma, and my dad. And in different ways, you know, they've always tried to love me in ways my mom couldn't when it really needed to be done. But right now, I'm not seeing it at all from any of them. And that hurts a lot because I really just wanted to make my little sister feel safe. Like, why doesn't she want that for me? Why doesn't she want that for me? Like, honestly, why didn't nobody, when I fucking won my trial and I was puking the whole morning, like, why didn't nobody fucking say, hey, are you feeling better? That would have meant more than anything. It's not about money. Actually, it kind of is because there's base levels of humanity attached to it, but why? Why does nobody care right now? It blows my mind. I get it. That's the whole point of domestic violence, but yeah, I don't know, man. This is like a level I can't really... I don't fucking know, dude. Anywho, so basically, like, he drove off, and I was even further traumatized by his mother gaslighting me out of nowhere. It was horrible. And it was very traumatic. Because he basically drove off with my Bubba, my Benji, with his head in his car. He had no accountability for all the things he could have done that didn't need to go the way they went. And I tried harder than he did to make him happy when I was cut at disadvantage for, which is all I'm seeing now still. And I don't like to be a burden. I don't like to be people telling me how I owe them things when I actually probably owe them as much as they owe me, which is usually why I'm saying 50-50 in most situations. Like, I've done so much for people when I could and didn't think twice because A, I either wanted to help, or B, get away. Like, either or. If you really hate me so much, a car, anyone to drop $1,500 would really be. Don't fucking hold a carrot in my face right now. I am not going to want to talk to you. And if you don't get that, and I haven't responded to you guys on OnlyFans, let's just start there. Okay, so do not tell me I owe you more. I owe nobody any fucking thing at this point, and I've done for more people than anyone has done for me through hell that I had to save myself through, and then still wanted to help other people feel safer for. Go fuck yourselves, telling me I owe you anything. Someone should give me $1,500 that is not worried about money. If you are worried about money, I don't expect that from you. What I do expect, though, is after I decided to serve someone for my rights to peace, you had no absolutely legal or moral standing to get involved with. You punished me for that. I don't get fucking donations anymore. And then why would I bring a speaker when it's obvious that you guys would rather pay someone who hurts me to give yourselves a show? I mean, you're sick fucks.